Hi, hello. David Chow here again. I'm doing another YouTube. Today's topic is going to be interesting. I decided to do something like don't live beyond your means. Basically, or the reverse of that should be we should all live within our means or below our means. Okay, so basically that's all I'm concentrating on because uh, I come across too many people among our friends, people that I know they live well beyond their means, well beyond the limits. So uh, so I thought, look, this is going to be an interesting topic for me to expand on. So basically, what it means is you're spending more than what you can afford or more than you're earning. Okay, or you have too many credit card and too many short-term loans, car loan, personal loan, you know, too too many loans, even investment loans. You committing yourself too much. And and a lot of times with a budget, with your short-term budget, your long-term budget, it's not sustainable. So and basically it means that you don't have a long-term goal. I mean, that's all I can work it out. That you don't have a long-term goal. Where you would like to be in 10 or 20 or 30 years, where you would like to be when you retire. Uh, retire still living in a rental home, or retire when you are comfortable with one or two home, and also some investment properties, some shares and kind of thing. You know, people at this stage you need to work it out. So basically, what do we mean living beyond our means? Well, I could list a few things like leading a very luxury, lifestyle. Uh, 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 try to impress other people for whatever reason. Dressing sort of designer clothing. Uh, you know, carrying expensive bag. Go to an expensive restaurant with friends, uh, yeah, or buying a new flashy car. And that's sometimes living beyond your means. I mean, you person may be making a lot of money, but the fact that you be paying so much of all these items, to impress friends, wearing, Cartier watch, Gucci bag, whatever, Versace, Gucci shirt, a couple $100, and going to expensive restaurant, hang around. Well, I don't know. The people like to hang around with rich friends. I'm not sure it's qualifies as live your means, but sometimes your rich friends do have rich taste. They like to go to expensive restaurant, fine wine, exotic holidays, and all that. I mean, unless you in their kind of stay, in terms of what, unless you're making all that kind of money. I mean, mixing with the rich friends is, I don't know. Is it a social status? I don't know. Or sometimes maybe the nowadays with social media, pressure from social media. You gotta have your Facebook, showing off the places, the country, the beach resort, the things that you've done, so that maybe to impress your friends. I don't know, to have a flashy car so that you can sort of, yeah, you're chasing, yeah, many girls or something. Anyway, that is that is what I call live beyond your means. Basically your income, what your spending is more than what you make. So I can give you a lot of examples because it seems that a lot of people fall into this trap, you know, especially I'll say in the Western world, in Western country. They tend to spend a lot more than what they earn. They live on like from paycheck to paycheck, from credit card, extra credit card, extra loan. The end of it, it's just one day they're gonna wake up in the morning and say, "Well, can't do it. My debt level's up to here." Anyway, well, I mean, I can give you sort of personal, some friends that I know that basically why I mention it, because so that we don't fall into that kind of trap. I mean, I know a travel consultant. She her second marriage. Both second marriage, and they went on honeymoon. It's about 10 years ago. Honeymoon, Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan for a month. He came back on holiday and showed us lovely photos. Oh, wow, I said, "Oh, geez, lovely photo. You really enjoy yourself. And it's like 5-star hotel, Hong Kong, Singapore, and all that. Swimming pool, everything. She said, "Oh yeah, I know. Oh, I said, "Well, it must have cost you a bit of money." He said, "Oh, you won't believe it, David. We spent all our credit card limit, 30,000. So she reckons she's gonna work for next year just to clear that credit card debt." And I said, "Oh God, what are you doing?" On top of the credit card, the interest rate is not cheap. In those days about 15-20%. Now I imagine now it's 25 or 30%. It's gonna have for the, unless you can able to save and pay off quickly, it's gonna be try to catch up, year after year. So that's one example. And another example is, I think I mentioned it, the last YouTube about a Malaysian friend of mine, obviously a millionaire. He ran a very successful printing business. That's more than 10 years ago too. And next thing I knew that he bought he sold his kind of average home and bought a house only about 2 kilometers away from here. So like a big block of land, we'll call it, in Melbourne it's called acre lot. Acre lot means an acre. The acre block of land, 1 acre, is more than like 4 times the normal size of suburban house. And in there it's like a house about 40-50 square, like 6 bedroom, bathroom, toilet, and on top of that it's got an outdoor tennis court, a lovely outdoor swimming pool as well. I said, my gosh, this guy doing well. And then and then like 12 months later, he bought himself one of the, he bought himself, or he under contract and bought one of the big Mercedes, and I think a week later he tried to return the Mercedes back to the dealer, and the dealer said, "No, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's black and white in the contract. You like, you can sell yourself." I mean, obviously, if you sell himself, he will take a loss of 20,000-30,000. So that's not pretty smart. Worse all, a couple of months later, he owned a warehouse with his printing factories. He's also getting some sort of part-time training for computer. People learning how to use software those days, Microsoft Word, computer sort of program. So he running all that, employ people running that, like teaching IT part-time. So anyway, he imported a couple printing machine from Germany. At the end of it, the bank refused to finance it. So eventually, the German company sue him. So because he can't come out with the money because the machine's already out the door. So anyway, long story. He declared bankrupt and moved to a much smaller house. And he sold everything, you know, the warehouse, the big house that that he stayed for about a year, and yeah, the car, kind of not very nice sort of story, but it's true. So people, you know, when the financial situation have a dramatic change, like all of a sudden you appear to be very wealthy to all of his friends, even to me. I said, wow, this guy is doing well, eh? The printing business is doing well in his factory and all that. But then next thing, 12 months later, it's gone bankrupt. I remember the last time I spoke to him, he said, he blamed me on the salesman, con him buying con him to buy the car. But anyway, I think, so we're going to be careful. This kind of thing, even you're doing well in life, you don't jump into it. It just assess and maybe save up the money and do some real investment. It's putting all the risk, in one basket. All things that just doesn't turn out to be good. And another case, I got some new. I own a mortgage broking business, and I had to interview a loan applicant. They newly arrived, but I was so surprised. They're living in rental apartment. And they want to borrow $500,000 to buy a home, but then at the same time, they got almost like two brand new Mercedes, and one of them is well, she's an accountant, so maybe she thought that it's a good idea to have a new luxury car as a rival, as a business rival. And he also, well, his Mercedes is not so new, but he also sort of drove around in the Mercedes because he worked in a restaurant, or managed a restaurant, managed an Indian restaurant. So I look at all the documents. I say, look, Raj, I don't think we can't. I don't think it's enough point to. I don't think the bank able to finance because you got too many existing repayment. One for the lease car, and then your second-hand Mercedes is your on the car loan. I mean, it's not, and on top of that, it's not enough saving to put in a deposit. So my advice to them at that time was, look, I'll come back 6 months time, but make sure, and also make sure you get rid of all the credit card. Make sure you can, if you can get rid of all the credit card, that'd be great, and also at least pay off one. I'd sell off one car, or if you can, especially terminate the lease agreement for the new Mercedes. I mean, they all. When you get all the figure together, it doesn't look good. I mean, the bank would say, well, you already got you have to make a payment like $2,000, $1,500 a month. How can you afford to borrow another $500,000 for a house to live in? So anyway, I don't know. That was my last. I talked to them. They didn't call me back after 12 months. And the other thing is, I got another guy. He, I mean, it's a chef. He sort of works 6 days a week in a restaurant, but on the day off, he used to like to go to the casino and spend the whole day in casino, and sometimes even after the restaurant finished 11 o'clock, he went to the casino afterward, because casino here is open 24 hours. he was trying to save up enough money to buy the family a small house, but from what I gather, it never succeeded because most of the time, I mean, I believe that most of the time, every time he's got pay, got pay on Thursday or Friday, he spend the money in the casino, and I mean, I don't know, but anyway, from what I get, he's still living in a housing commercial flat, but that's a problem. I mean, people, you know, they might join a club, or high roller, they call it high roller club. They get some sort of either cheap wine or cheap food, or even the one from high roller, they get free wine, drink, food, finger food, breakfast, porridge, noodle, prawn, or crab crawl, whatever. They get it free. On top of that, I think they get a very special deal on the accommodation in the hotel where you stay in one of their hotel, and in fact they even got a golf course. They can chauffeur driven you to play golf if you like, but they must play. From what I get, you must stay on the table for a minimum 3 or 5 hours a day. I mean, the casino doesn't care whether you make money or lose money, but you must have a stand every day, at least, a certain amount of hour. At least the casino says, well, you sitting there a few hours a day. That's the only requirement you need. Anyway, I don't think people should waste their time and money with the casino. I mean, what do you think? Casino on a 60-story building up there. Well, they must be. I know who's the winner. I know who's the loser. So, anyway, I mean, it's a lot of other cases. I don't think we'll. I don't think we'll need to. I don't think we need to go through. I got a couple more cases, but I mean, when overseas, we usually, try to book it on Airbnb, or even, even Singapore, we try to book something 3-star, 2.5 star, because it's so expensive in Singapore. Okay, well, let's go back to the other scenario. It's just like perhaps we should live within or under our means, or under your means. Live frugal. Frugal, sort of have a good frugal habits or lifestyle. Okay, and yeah, have a budget, save some 20% or 30% of the money, not, well, obviously initially save in the bank, but then once the money, sufficient money, you do something with that saving, put that money in a deposit for a real estate or share, portfolio or whatever. Something will grow in value. You will appreciate in value, not buying, some people suggest, oh, buy yourself a flashy car, it's just what you want. Well, it's not a good, I mean, that's not a good advice. The car will, like, you bought something 100,000, next year worth 75,000, Anyway, yeah, and pay down debt. You've got personal loan, car loan, credit card. Get rid of the credit card. I mean, I can imagine. I got rid of all my, 2 credit cards because I found out they were charging me 20%, but now must be 30%. Credit card. Whoa, what would you only pay something? What happens if you forget to pay that month? Minimum payment, and you get charged 30%. And yeah, stop going to expensive restaurant. I mean, nice to be sort of like, you hear people, I'm flying to Paris holiday, or from London, or New York or something, you know. I mean, nice to do that, or you know, go to Greek islands, or well, you know. But considering that, or joining a ranch cruise, you know, in you know, from Hungary to Netherlands, you know, the Budapest to Amsterdam. I forgot the capital. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to be having all that relaxing. I think when you retire, maybe you got a lot of money, but you should do that. But not while you are working. Whether you're in the middle, starting you're working, or middle, or you know, I think we all need to put that sort of money in the right perspective. You know, we can't just blow. You know, money. As we say, money doesn't drop off from the trees. You know, we all work hard for it. So anyway, and also, yeah, stop going to expensive restaurant, bar, yeah, smoke. You know, only smoking, wine, beer. They all cost a lot of money nowadays. You can't believe how much a pack of cigarettes. That's about $25-$30. A pack of VB or beer, it's at $25-$30 as well. Can you imagine that? Like, I can't understand that people can actually afford that, doing that every day, you know, non-stop. And also, stop trying to keep up with the Jones, you know. I mean, just because your neighbor's got a new Mercedes, you know, brand new house, a new Mercedes, and your wife said, darling, you know, did you see the new Mercedes, the red Mercedes? Ooh, I'd love to have one. And oh my gosh, love to have one of those. No. Stop, you know, stop trying to keep up with the Jones next door. I mean, you just be yourself, you know, live a frugal life, you know, value the money. Well, whatever you're saving, put into good use. As I said before, I always believe, start young, invest in property, invest in real estate. In Australia, anyway, real estate go up in value. In Melbourne, Sydney, in Perth, Brisbane, they're all doing fine. I believe it's even 7 years or 5-7 years. In the capital city, the double is value every 7 years. So you can work it out. I mean, imagine you bought something like 30 years ago for 200,000, now it's worth $1 million. You know, I mean, it's as simple as that. And yeah, and have a budget. And obviously you need and have a goal, have a long-term goal, not just short-term goal. Not short-term goal. You know, 3 years time I want to own a new sports car, you know, or 2 years time I'll save more money, go around the world for you know, trek around the world for 12 months. I mean, yeah, that's fine. I mean, but can you imagine after your 5 years come back to Australia, you're broke, no money to start with, and well, your friends already, you know, putting on the house, start putting a deposit, got a loan in the house, or bought another investment property. I mean, you're kind of behind them, isn't it? That, you know, time is essence, you know, important. Time is, you know, it's best to start everything young. I mean, just sort of, don't waste time. Anyway, I think I talked too much. Okay. Now, I just want to finish by saying that, you know, by not living beyond your means, you will, you know, basically try to live within your means or under your means, you know, and that will reduce a lot of financial stress, financial and relationship stress as well. You know, the family, and you will achieve financial stability, and also achieve your long-term goal. That's important. I mean, we all need to have a long-term goal in life, you know. we can't just we can't just like live month by month, year by year, just without a sense of goal. What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? I mean, well, we need to teach our kids of that as well. I mean, the same thing. They got to have a goal when you study. They want to be sure that by the time they doing their VCE, the year 12, they got to be good by that time. They're good in maths, English, whatever, science, psychology, whatever they want to do. They basically they got to set a goal a couple of years beforehand. They can't just set a goal like 2 months before the exam. Not going to help. Okay, by doing all that, I think I'm sure you lead a happy, healthy, and successful life for yourself, family, for everybody. It's good. It's good to be like in that situation. It's sort of when your OH is worried about too many things. Things you sort of try to work out how we're going to pay the next bill. Okay, I'll finish this and before I go, please subscribe. I really need all your people's support. I kind of I'll try my best. Come up with good, interesting content. I can only come up with the content, the stuff that I personally know. I can't just talk about something else that I don't have knowledge, or I just have to like busy study for next 2 days. No, that's not that's not me. I only talk about things that I in my mind, things that I personally experience, and the kind of thing that things that I'm passionate, like I'm passionate travel, I'm passionate about real estate investment, and I'm passionate doing YouTube, so that we can all share. Okay, please don't forget to subscribe, and if you think this is good, give me the thumb up, and please leave a comment. And all that will be really, really appreciated. Okay, good night. We'll talk to you again next time. Bye.